It occurs to me that perhaps I didn't think about this whole gallery thing as carefully as I should have. I mean, sure, it's an opportunity to have a whole new group of people look at my vids and songs, and since when it comes down to brass tacks my muse runs on a careful fuel of comments and accolades, it seemed only appropriate that I do so. It was then that I discovered a strange aspect of the gallery world, the request. People are constantly asking the 3,000-odd Photoshop wizards to make something with their character, and so it makes perfect sense that if a vid maker appeared, he would be asked to follow suit. The first to take the plunge and do this was Lyceus Falls, a venerable member of the VHOT community. No sooner had I gotten Lyceus's request than did I feel that I had arrived, and wondered how soon exactly I could go back again. Songwriting is an odd beast. Much like writing of any kind, it requires a certain amount of inspiration that is darned near impossible to produce on demand. So while I am sure that young Master Falls intended to have a song written about him, this is the best I can do at the moment, but I will be sure to keep you in mind during any future barding efforts. I might also take this moment to point out that the best way to get a mention in the songs of Rathe McGrath is to be on his Quidditch team, but barring that, role-playing with him will also do the trick. Anywho, on to young Master Falls. Lyceus Falls is one of many Hogwarts students with name troubles. It seems that many parents of these children gave no immediate notice to how difficult their children's names were to spell, and others ignored how odd even many of the spellable ones were. Lyceus receives the double whammy of having both, so that fellow students who had trouble pronouncing his name might at least derive some joy from tripping him in order to make his last name ironic. His family took their negligence to untold heights, however, in naming his cousin Icarus. Taken symbolically, they may as well have named him Will Aspire to Great Things and Fatally Fail, or WAGTFF for short, and so merely making the younger cousin's names hard to spell might have been their idea of restitution. Of course, given that my character's name sounds something like a crime dog, and VH has a professor named after a fast food breakfast sandwich, I'm not sure anyone has the right to judge, but what the hell, I'm judging anyway. Anyway, on to the guest of the hour. What can I say about young Mr. Falls? As far as backgrounds go, he's one of the more creative ones I have seen in some time, the son of a family with the long tradition of squibs. Given that squibs being born to wizards are more rare than wizards born to muggles, this makes his family something of an oddity. He is also interesting in that he is related to another VHer, the aforementioned, tragically named Icarus Falls, and so there may have some backstory that my short sojourn into young Lyceus's life has not yet revealed. In many ways, Mr. Falls represents what one would expect to see in a young Slytherin, arrogant, haughty, though why when he is not in Hufflepuff is quite beyond me, and generally ready for the world to bow down. He has had his lessons in humility, which shows a large amount of maturity on the part of the puppeteer, but in general there is nothing wrong with him that a good Hufflepuff bludger wouldn't fix. But one of the first things that really caught my attention was this. Kid likes to duel. And I mean a lot. Fully half of his character library is devoted to various escapades in dueling that the kid has undergone, and that is saying something. One of the things I appreciate about the dueling ring is that it forces characters into situations where they might legitimately lose and there's nothing they can do about it. One of the aspects of RPing at VH that always annoyed me is the fact that in standard RP there has to be some agreement as to who the winners of any engagement are. And no one wants to be Draco Malfoy, always somehow managing to end up at the short end of the stick. This is turned around by the fact that many characters therefore refuse to lose and don't either enter or finish RPs in which their characters are coming out on the losing end. Dueling is one of the situations in which you might eventually somehow lose and have to cope with that, and if you leave, you lose your wizarding points. I don't get much into the ring myself, though, largely because it becomes obvious pretty quickly that when it comes to dueling, you are either a fanatic or you don't really do it. Given that I am already fanatical about Quidditch, it seemed that I already had addictions enough, thank you very much, and so this might be one of the reasons that I have not had much opportunity yet to play with young Mr. Falls. Oh yeah, and he's a werewolf. Impressive given that he is a second year, Lyceus is one of those rare characters who has a special gift. In his case, a horrible curse that once monthly conspires to transform him into a horrible monster and generally leaves him looking less healthy than one might expect from a 12 to 13-year-old boy. From what I can see in his character library, it looks like he has only really outed himself to one member of the Hogwarts student body, and that perhaps his faith might have been just a tad misplaced, but that story remains to be told. All told, I quite like the character of Lyceus Falls. While I'm not sure any of my characters would like him very much, his puppeteer seems to be quite in control of the character concept, and all in all shows some good writing skills to back the concept up. And if you are listening, Mr. Falls, as you had darned well better be, if I ever write a song about werewolves, I'll be sure to give you a holla. Alright, next. In touch with the